Wait. Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it, so you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Another one. What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start.
Round one.
Another one. Let's go. Give me 1 second. I just want to quickly hear this for myself. See if the audio here plays back for me. I don't even know if I got this playing, but as soon as I start talking, I'm about to hear it. I'm anxious to see what this sounds like. Fight fans, we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start.
Round one.
Another one. Let's go. Give me 1 second. I just want to quickly hear this for myself. See if the audio here plays back for me. I don't even know if I got this playing, but as soon as I start talking, I'm about to hear it. I'm anxious to see what this sounds like. Fight fans, it doesn't sound all too bad right there. TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Let me turn that down.
Round one.
Then put that like that. Another thing that I saw interesting was this volume. So it was all the way up like 100 and something. I don't know what this volume does. But as soon as I start talking, I'm about to hear it. Oh shit, my bad. Let me turn that off. All right, so let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Today's episode. Let me know as you're tuning in if the mic sounds loud and clear. Once again, we had to do some more adjustments, man, because it's just not where I need it to be at all. Not for the type of mic this is. So obviously I'm just checking out new things and things like that, but we're here to talk boxing. So let's get right into this episode, man. Wow, man. I got an overwhelming response to this Teofimo Lopez and Rolly fight. And even like my brothers called me to talk about the fight. And a lot of people had a lot of things to say about what transpired in the ring between Rolly and Teo. And my brother calls me, he's quickly like, yo, Edwin, man, that fight sucked, right? And I'm like, wow, is that like the consensus? That the fight, like when you're watching a fight and you come out, I wanted to ask my brother this, right? And he said, yo, Edwin, man, that fight sucked. And I said, in comparison to who? I just wanted to see who he was comparing Theo and Rolly's fight to whose fight. Who else did it better than them? And there's plenty of fighters that in fights that have been way better than the Teo and Rolly fight. But I just wanted to hear him say an actual fight. Like, did you enjoy what you were watching or were you judging it? Because of all these arguments you've had all over social media about fighting lately. Were you in one of those moods where you were trying to prove a point to somebody else? You wanted to go on tomorrow and say, see, I told you the fight was going to be exactly this way. So if the fight didn't turn out that way for you, what was your perception of the fight then? All of us as individuals, we're all unique in our own way. Then we open the door and we go outside and we're influenced by others, by things, sounds, music. You never know what you really like. You get on these channels and you get on too many of them and you start hearing too many insights. It messes up your perception of what you should be enjoying. That's why I tell you guys all the time, what does round one do? I turn off the sound. I don't listen to Chrismatics. I don't do any of that because I find myself arguing with the freaking TV. Plus, I want to learn how to call my own fights. And with every fight that I call, I get better and better and better of seeing different things inside of fighting. From the time I started this live stream, this podcast, Round One Sports Talk, my IQ is getting better and better. My understanding about fighting has even gotten better. I never came into boxing or doing this podcast and saying that I knew everything. No, I want to learn every single day a technique, a form, a style, anything. But I also want to enjoy the fight. When I watched Teo and Rolly, in my mind, I assumed everybody was going into the fight expecting to see Teo and Rolly. That's what you paid to see. How can you pay Teo to watch Teo and Rolly and then all of a sudden think that you're going to be watching freaking Tank Davis and Devin Haney? Like, you knew what you were paying for. You know what Rolly is. You knew exactly what Teo was. Then you go and you watch the fight and you're like, ah, that fight was trash. The fuck did you, what did you expect? Did you expect to see Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvelous Hagler? Marvelous Hagler and Hitman Hearns the first 3 rounds? Is that what you expected to see? But then your expectation was extremely high for watching a fight like that, knowing who these two fighters are. They both come with some shit. Teo and Rolly. We don't ever sometimes know. We talk about this in many fights, right? Salute. I thought he was saying something about the sound. I couldn't even figure it out. I was trying to be like boom, boom, boom. Where was I now? Now I got mixed up because I'm all like insecure about the fucking mic sound and shit. That I thought that when I saw a message, somebody was saying something about it. Like my train of thought just kind of went out the window. Um, so I'm talking about the fight, right? With with them. And I know that when I went into the fight to see Teo, that a lot of us back and forth, we talked about this. Yo, we don't know what version of Teo we gonna get. Sometimes Teo shows up in the big fights, in the mediocre fights, like the Martin fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like what Steve Klagic, like guys like when he fought like that. So we always knew that Teo came with a question mark. What version of Teo you gonna get? Then all of a sudden you see him fight Rolly. You see, Rolly actually fought the best I've ever seen him fight. The best. And you guys are saying that's a shitty ass fight. If that's the best he ever fought, what were you expecting going into the fight? You saw him fight Ryan. You saw him fight Isa Pitbull Cruz. You saw him fight Tank Davis. Rolly. What kind of skills did you think you were going to watch? I had a great time. I watched the fight. I saw a competitive matchup. I don't know what you saw. I'm not here to bash. I think that a lot of fans, from what I'm starting to see, they're just stuck in this argumentative debating channels. They're trying to free themselves. And when they come to a boxing channel, they like to talk boxing or hear it, right? But they quickly take everything like they hear here and run to the debating channels. So I think that a lot of them can't wait to shit on the fight for what it wasn't in their mind rather than enjoying the fight. I enjoyed the fight. Bro, listen, I basically called the fight to the T, right? I was off on a couple things. I'll I'll put up the video. And actually, someone actually called the fight correctly on my channel. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna stay with me. Check it out, right? In my assessment, in the fight in yesterday's live stream. I got receipts. You can call me. I think it's in the 3 hour mark, and it's also in the 1 hour and 40 something second mark that I brought up the 2 points, and I just reintegrated what I said. I said I was prepared to see a one-sided event where that Teo wins the majority of the rounds and Rolly wins 3 to 4 rounds. That's all I gave Rolly. That Teo beats him in a unanimous decision. That's where I went wrong. You know why I only went wrong there? Because of those fucking judges. Because if the real judging would have been scored on that fight, Teo beats Rolly in a unanimous decision, hands down, and I would have been right. The fact that it came out to be a split decision, okay, cool. But I told y'all, Teo was going to beat him. Rolly was going to have his moment. It could have been a knockdown in the fight. Remember I said that? It wasn't no knockdown, but boy, was it close. And I said, Rolly might put Teo down, but Teo's still going to win in a unanimous decision. Boom. Now, the person that actually called the fight right, check it out. We always tell you, if you listen to Frontline's bet, just go the other way. Sure winner. What did Frontline pick last night? Frontline pick Rolly in a split decision. The winner was Teo in a split decision. Just go the other way with Frontline and you will win. You will win. Just whatever he says. Yo, he got the guy in the seventh. Take the other guy in the seventh. Money. Frontline does yeah, Frontline literally does this all the time. He actually picks the fight, but it's for the other guy. And it's like on point too. Frontline literally picked split decision, but for Rolly, it was split decision, heel. Yo, it's like Frontline. He doesn't want to win. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to let Frontline pick first because I want to hear what he say. Because all I gotta do is just who you got in the fight, Frontline. I'm going with the other guy, and I'm taking the exact round. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. Didn't I prove it to you guys on the show when I encourage? I said, Frontline, no, I'm not gonna do that to you. Take the second round. No, round one. You got to take the second round because you said now you want it. Now you got to take the second round. I said, all right. I said, okay, cool. I'll take the second round. Boom. I take the second round, win the fight. Front like, round one, I gave you that. You know what I'm saying? It happens every single time. And it happened in the Rolly and Teo fight. Frontline actually called it. And if you've been around here for a while, you know the Bobos, low key, Bull Riders, Mr. Miyagi, even Justin here, they all know. They gotta know by now. Whatever Frontline say, go the other way. Money. Yo, no, it was a MTO. No, it wasn't a majority decision, Tio. It was a split decision, right? I heard split decision. Was it a split? Or am I thinking split decision and the Frontline say majority decision? Let's see. Let's check the paperwork. Let's check the paperwork because we got the paperwork right here. We just got to find the page. I might be wrong right now. I might be wrong. But I know Frontline called it. I know he did because I remembered. I remember walking away when I turned off. As soon as I turned off the mic, I went to stand up and it hit me. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. I might be wrong with picking the split decision. It might have been majority, and Frontline might have said majority. So hold on, let me see. I might have been wrong. I just got to find the page where. Because now I'm curious. Now you got me. I want to make sure. Nah, he had Rolly split decision. He had Rolly split decision. Didn't Teo win in a split decision because one judge had it a draw? One judge had it a draw. The other judge was fucking drunk with his scoring too. There's no way Rolly won 6 rounds. There's no way Rolly won 6 rounds. Not with one punch. Not in. If you're adding a moment and you're counting by twos, maybe. There's no way Rolly won 6 rounds in that fight, bro. How was that fight a draw by one judge? I think it was a split decision. I should go back and play back because I got the DAZN app, so at any time I could just go up on the app, which I'll probably do right now and shit just to hear it. I'm gonna do it for myself because you know maybe somebody heard it on some fucking Fire Stick and they said majority, and he heard majority. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? But now I gotta do my due diligence. Come up here and I'm just gonna like put the end when they announce it. That's all. I just want to hear that then. Because now I'm curious. See, you done said some shit, and now I want to know. What was it? Nobody picked majority decision. It was UDSD or KO. You nobody picked majority decision. No. We had we had we had we had he went unanimous decision. We had Tio. Then that greatness, he had Rolly in a split decision. Frontline Frontline had Rolly in a split decision, and then round one, I went crazy. You know how round one does. I switch it up. I was like, for the Notre Dame's belt, just for the belt. I wanted a knockout. I was trying to put the energy. I went an 8-round knockout. Even though I told you my real pick, which is the decision set. So then I went and I explained everything before I said it. I was like, yo, look, this is this. I'm just doing this for this. So, just in case anybody's like, what's wrong with you? No, I explained it. Because when I do this shit, people get crazy. And then uh the other dude had Rolly in the 5th round. So that's not even a split majority or nothing. So he didn't even have any of those. So nobody picked majority decision at all. You know what I'm saying? They tried to rob Tio. Oh yeah. Tio got it done. Yeah. No, listen, there's no way that fight. Come on, guys. Let's just be honest. I'm being honest too, and I'm giving Tio all the credit, and I'm giving Rolly the credit for the type of fight they were supposed to have on the level that those two men were on. That was a decent fight. Yes, I saw some blood. I saw some. There was a expense. There was excitement. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no knockout. It wasn't no kill. But I did get blood. I did get some excitement. There was times we was like, oh shit, Teo look hurt. Teo, what the fuck? Teo look hurt. And then Teo shook that shit off and went back to work. He went back to work. And you look at the fighters, right? And I heard some people say that Rolly let up, like my brother too. And I saw another YouTube channel. I'm not gonna mention any names. He said that Rolly gave the fight to Teo. And I was like, yo, before I say that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard, I'm not gonna insult you by that, right? But I'm just gonna come out, I'm gonna say this. I told my brother, I said, I'm not sure if you remember what it's like getting punched in the face in the ring. Every punch hurts. A jab hurts, anything. You don't gotta have power. All this stigma with pillow fists. What is they got fans thinking that they really hit like pillows? Like you can actually walk through Theo's power. That's a lie. Because that was true, Shakur would have did it. Shakur was out on the outside, stinging. He felt Teo's power. He doesn't have one punch knockout power. Okay, pick your poison. Would you rather get hit with one sledgehammer, one time, knock you out, or 80 times all night with a hammer? The hammer might not knock you out. But that shit's gonna hurt. All 80 punches is gonna hurt. Okay? Rolly was taking these punches. He was trying to find his angles. He was trying to find his inside. And he was also trying to recharge the battery from the shots he just took from Teo. I told my brother, I said, yo, don't listen to these channels. These are the people that put money and lost. They want to come back the next day and say, this is what happened. This is what happened, this and that. They're all emotional. They're yelling at the top of their voice, and they're giving these conspiracy theories. You know what I'm saying? Trying to rewind. Look at this round right here. Bro, those two guys are in there circling each other, and not until you're in a ring, you got someone in front of you, and you're on constant edge, and everything you've tried. Remember, Rolly was limited to his arsenal. Everything he tried his best. By the sixth round, Teo had seen everything he had. Rolly, at points in the fight, he was second guessing himself. He wasn't throwing the fight away. But these guys that never been in a boxing ring, all they do is they talk on a microphone. They got no boxing experience. They probably sparred and when they were like 7, right? And they think they just because they watched enough fights, they can explain what was going on in the ring. You got zero boxing experience, brother. You don't understand these things. But please allow people that have fought in the rings to talk. I don't have to be a professional to know. If you've ever laced it up and you had somebody in front of you and you know what that kind of pressure is and what that feels like alone, fuck skills. We're not talking about skills. I'm not saying I was the greatest fighter in the world or this person or that person. Just know what that feels like. Talk to me about that first. Just that. I'm not talking about a street fight. I'm talking about competition. You gotta pace yourself. You gotta make sure you don't gas out, throw too many punches, leave yourself vulnerable for attack. You're so damn tired, you're looking at the punch, but you couldn't block it. Jake Paul. Jake Paul saw that punch coming from AJ from a mile away. He was so exhausted. All he could do was like this. It's a bad place to be in a fight. If you ever been in a boxing match, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bro, you can literally see the fight, the punch, and you're like, fuck. And all you do is just brace. You're so exhausted that you can't even do this. So when there was like moments, like my brother says, and it's amazing. My brother's been in the ring a long time. He's just he hasn't been in the ring lately. He's been out of the ring almost 35 years or something, and I guess he forgets. I said, yo, it wasn't that Rolly was selling the fight, my brother. He's limited to his entrance. He only got so many. By the sixth round, Rolly gave him everything. Teo was shutting that shit down, bro. Rolly was confused. He didn't know what to do. He was sitting out there like this. He was like, man, look, what do I try now? What do I do now? The only way he got that shot in when Teo got lazy. Teo started picking him apart, getting confidence, right? The round started going by. Teo started manhandling him and wrestling him against the rope. Teo felt he was strong too. And Teo was like, yeah, bro, fuck your power. Then Teo was like, I'm gonna stand right here on the inside. And then Rolly caught it. Bro, he did not miss his opportunity, Rolly. Yo, he swung for the fences. He almost, Teo caught it at the wall and grabbed it. He almost hit a walk-off home run, Rolly. Yo, when Teo made that mistake and he stood there, Rolly read that shit like that. And he threw the power with intensity because he knew Teo was in range. He knew where his face was. And he knew, like, it wasn't like a wild punch. Go back and look at it. Rolly's eyes lit up because maybe when he was sparring and training, he knew that if Teo stood right there or he crossed a certain point, that he would be in punching range. And then Teo has a habit of dipping like this and going like that all the time. Yo, he sized him up, bro. Rolly got that punter because Teo got fucking. Teo thought he was like, I think pan conmigo. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I got Rolly, bro. He can't fuck with me. And Teo made a mistake, and Rolly caught that ass, bro. Rolly was waiting for that all night, bro. He was waiting for that shot. He's boom. Hey, yo, shout out to Teo, man. He has a chin. Listen, all the reports are out. All the reports are out. Every person so far that I've heard publicly come out that did spar Rolly, they all say the same thing. Man, that man can punch. Tank said is his hardest puncher he ever fought against. Right? Everybody, even the sparring partners, the kid that was up there training with him now, he's like, fucking Rolly can punch like a mule. For Rolly to catch Teo flush like that, and Teo didn't go out. Listen, I'm not sure if Shakur can take a punch like that. I'm not sure. If Rolly, the way he caught Teo was going down like that. He was coming up. Rolly caught him in full momentum going like this, bro. That was a walk-off. Shout out to Teo for taking that punch flush. And then that's not even the punch that cut his eye. Because even in most reporting that I'm seeing, see, this is why I know these dudes don't box. He didn't hit Rolly with a right hand. He hit Rolly. Rolly hit him with a left check hook first. The one that buckled fucking Teo with the left check hook. It hit him right here. It didn't bust his eye. When he hit him, and Teo almost sat down, that when he went to stand up like this, that they went into the next exchange, that monster right hand that came over the top, that's what split his eye. He hit him like this. He went boom, and Teo went like that. They exchanged. He went boom, and then Rolly hit him with a straight right. No, it was real sharp. The right, it was real sharp. And in the camera angle, when you go back and you watch it, you're gonna see. Damn, they'll copyright the shit out of me right now if I play that shit. If you want to see it, just go see it. You're gonna see the punch that hits him here. It never hits his eye. Then it was the straight right that fucking hit him, and that one split it. That's the one. That's the punch that did the damage. That punch did the damage and shit. And it was like when I was watching it, right? It kind of like gave me Zubriel, Xander Zayas, Jerron Boots, and its vibes, right? Like when I saw that live and I saw Xander hit Jerron, yeah, are we witnessing a comeback type shit, right? So the it was like when Rolly hit him, I heard the Rocky music. Somebody come on, Adrian. And fucking Rolly was coming forward. I was like, yo. And then like he pushed him down. It broke the action, and Rolly started coming forward. And I was like, yo, see, I went into the fight with the mindset of being prepared to watch what I went into the fight. I knew the level of the fighters that I was watching. I wasn't watching Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvelous Hagler. You understand? So that's why I enjoyed it. Because for all the wildness, I expected all of that. I was like, this is Rolly fighting, right? Like Wild Man Rolly? Like, okay, yeah. And then Teofimo Lopez, that we've been saying that he needs a trainer, that he did everything wrong with Shakur, pick up the back leg, get out of position. We were watching that, Teo. That was just his last fight. So and then when the people get on and they go, oh man, that fight sucked. Like, what the fuck were you guys expecting to watch? Like, I'm like, wait, and then I got no explanation for it. And I'm just saying, it must be all these channels these guys watch, and they're always talking about the best and the best. And I think that their bar for what a boxer should look like is so high that they no longer see the Teos and the Rollies anymore. I'm like, bro, if you don't see Teo and Rolly, then what the fuck are you going to see with Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia? You're going to come right back here. Hey, round one, that shit was garbage. Like, you know who Conor Ben is. He's just a pressure fighter, a fucking brawler. No skills, no placement, he doesn't understand distance, positioning, timing, just a brawler. And Ryan Garcia ain't no fucking better on the skill pool. He's getting better, but Ryan got attributes. He's got speed and that check hook. Conor don't got that. So that's what I know that I'm gonna go watch. All I'm watching, what did Devin say? All you are is a check left hit check hook. Oh, and now I saw with the Mario Barrio, you're a left check hook and a right hand. If that's my assessment coming out of the greatest win he's ever had, what the fuck am I expecting in his next fight? I'm expecting to see him a better version of himself. And in fact, since I was able to, I guess the only person on earth that enjoyed the fight between Rolly and Teo, I don't know. No one that seems to have liked it. Fucking when I finally see Ryan, I'm gonna enjoy it because I'm gonna be able to see them. That's not fucking Terrence Crawford in there. That's not Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? It's just not. And I can't judge them and say, oh, they look like shit. No, that's what they look like. It's what they always look like. How the fuck did I was gonna watch them and all of a sudden I expected so much? And it's just like, and then this is good too for the division because the 140-pound division is starting to look like now a ghost town. Now everybody's starting to tread up this way. The 147 is looking better. Okay. You got Ryan Garcia as the 147 WBC world champion. Now that Teo got a belt, right? And Ryan's gonna go fight Conor. Okay. Um, uh, uh, who else? Who else is gonna be fighting or got a fight scheduled there right now? Um, uh, uh, okay. So if Teo just won the belt off Rolly, right? I'm not sure how the mandatories work for that, right? So then Ryan Garcia is the WBC, Devin Haney's the WBO, and you got basically the four horsemen except Liam Paro. You got three of the four horsemen at 147 right now. Javante Davis is the only one that's missing. But you got Teo, you got Ryan, and you got Devin in the same division right now. And then Liam Paro got the IBF. So I'm not even listen, and I told you guys about that shit with Liam Paro and George Camboza, but I forgot about it. I forgot to report to you guys that I guess George Camboza can't make the fight. George Camboza, he won't, I guess his time frame. So I guess he's not taking that fight with Liam Paro. So now I guess it's back to Devin Haney. So because it'd probably be the most logical thing to do. It's a unification and a payday. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. But let me catch up to the chat. I know that you guys are all here. Let me. I gotta scroll up, get some of you guys, out there. What's up, Bulbos? What's up, brother? Um, Bounce back needs to mix. What? What? It's I covered all that. I covered all that, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Watch the Serrano fight now. I'm even more confident she lost. Bubbles. No, the Amanda Serrano fight, um, Amanda Serrano, it was one of those types of fights you can get lost in, I admit, the Amanda Serrano fight. It's one of those fights like if you ever played poker, right? And you got like a weird straight going, and you got like 2, 4, right? 6 in your hand, and no one sees it because it's like blind on the board. It's like the 2 and the 7, 2 and the 7, and that's all you needed to make you straight. You see, and they don't see it. That's kind of like the Amanda fight. That's what I took away from it. See, Amanda's fight, the first, second round, it was like 1-1. The third round, it went to the girl. Yeah, I think Amanda wins the fourth, and the girl went on a little run. She was like 5, 6, 7, like that. Then the girl won the straight up. She won all those middle rounds. She beat Amanda, bro. I was telling it on the live stream. Then all of a sudden, I don't know. It was like I got like a premonition. And I was like, before it happened, too, you can go back to my live stream, Bubbles. You were there with me. Bubbles, did I not say this? Before it happened, yo, are we witnessing Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad? That Oscar gave away the last round. The difference in this fight was that the girl didn't run. She actually fought Amanda every step of the way. Amanda just won the rounds. But Amanda won like, she won like 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. The girl won like 8, 7, 6, 5, and maybe even 4 or something. And then Amanda won like 1 and 3. It was tricky. The fight was really tricky. Like you remember because the majority vote of the girls' run was consistent. It was consistent of watching her win from like round 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it was imprinted in your head like what I saw was this girl whooping Amanda's ass. You can get lost in a fight like that. You can get lost in a fight like that. But Amanda snuck in those 2 rounds and she closed the fight strong and she won the last 4 rounds. And then it went, those 4 and those beginning 2 are the 6 she needed to make it a tie. What happened? Okay. And then a championship fight, if the fight is close, who's it go to? They give the champion what we call the champion's nod. You didn't definitively, you kind of beat Amanda. You kind of did. For what you are and what Amanda is, you fought a legend, girl. You did fucking great. That girl did awesome against Amanda. To take it to Amanda like that, oh my God, bro. I was sitting there like this, but I'm going to call what I saw. And I was telling you, this girl is whooping Amanda's ass right now. And thank you for doing this. Because it's going to bring up the Puerto Ricans up. Look, we're not good enough we got to get better. Amanda, if you can't do it no more, then the new queen got to come. When you were on top, Amanda, you were making your rise, fine. But Amanda, at least Amanda wasn't a coward. Amanda fought the next person in line, 27 years old. She didn't fucking pick and choose a division, go down. How old are you? 42? I'll fight you. So I got to give Amanda that. Amanda was 10 years older than the girl she fought. The girl's 27, Amanda's 37. It's not easy to do. Go ahead. How old are you guys right now? Bubbles, how old are you? Go to the gym tomorrow and spar a kid 10 years younger than you. Tell me how that works out for you. What she did that was a tough assignment. Amanda knew there was a chance she could lose this fight. Everybody's talking about the knockout shit. Amanda was a little nervous. She's trying to get you guys to think about the knockout, but don't worry about the win. But since everybody got that put in their head, Amanda was supposed to knock her out, and since she didn't knock her out, they didn't see the fight. They didn't see the fight. They were expecting a knockout. And when she didn't deliver on what they were expecting, now she got her ass kicked. Why? Because you didn't watch the fight. What you were watching was you were watching and preparing for a knockout. That's the kind of fight you were watching. So, listen, these are these boxing situations. I'm just trying to bring you guys back down. Back down, and let's enjoy some fights, guys. I know you guys are hardcore or regular boxing fans, anything. If you're here watching me, you like boxing in some way or another, right? I'm trying to talk you back down off the ledge. They got you up there. How many times I told you guys that I started catching myself arguing with fighters that never asked for this, right? Aaron McKenna, when Max Kellerman was fucking stroking his ego so much that he almost snapped his wrist, right? I was sitting there thinking, Aaron McKenna never said any of this. And I'm over here judging Aaron McKenna like, yo, Aaron McKenna, bro, you're not this good middleweight. Da, da, da. I think Jones is gonna beat you. And blah blah blah. And then I caught myself. Why am I attacking Aaron McKenna? Where did this come from? Max Kellerman. These athletes sometimes don't ask for any of this drama. Where does it come from? The fans sometimes. We're the ones talking these situations up. We're the ones saying all this shit. The fighter actually never said anything most of the time until they start coming out with these mysterious lists of people they're going to fight, but somehow they don't fight no one on the list. Neither guy that made up a list fight anybody that was on the list. Fucking ridiculous. But anyway, and that's what happens. The expectation is kind of set on us. And what I'm trying to do right now is bring us down so that you can learn again, just like myself, how to learn how to enjoy to watch a fight. I was a very stubborn man. Very stubborn. Boxing dipped, like my favorite boxers retired or this, that, and the third. And I walked away. Started watching baseball, football, shit, fantasy, this. 6 years ago, whatever, I came back to the sport. I've been doing this ever since. And what helped me come back to the sport of boxing was the fact that I learned how to enjoy it once again. Too many high expectations, too many outcomes in my brain that I think should happen. Sometimes money exchanges hands, which can alter what you saw. You start putting money on a fight, you're only looking at your guy. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You may think you're watching a fight, but you're not. You're not. Why is it when you go back to the fight, you see a different fight every time you watch it? That's when you know you never actually enjoyed it. Because had you enjoyed it, you would have saw a lot of these things right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? And you would have saw their errors and their mistakes. And you would have been able to see what's wrong with your guy. Like Yo-Yo Hernandez on the card as well. I watched him fight for all the hype. And the guy, and listen, just another case. They putting you in with guys to make you look good. The minute the guy stood up to you and fought you, what happened to this fucking Terminator? What happened to this muscle-bound guy at 160 that's gonna fucking future champion, they say, future champion, they have called him. You guys heard him, all the stories. What did I see last night, bro? I was proud as shit as that dude that was fighting him, bro. I was proud as hell of that dude. I was like, oh shit. Yo, he literally, not only did he stand up to Hernandez, not only did he stood up to him. No, he actually fought him, bro. He actually fought him. He took his best punches. Homie, dame. He stood there. Flacco was like, let's get it. Boom, boom. What you think this was going to be sweet? Like, yo. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, but as far as experience goes for Hernandez, perfect. You needed that. You needed that. You needed that kind of fight at this level. You don't want that kind of fight or to be that kind of like in that kind of situation. You don't want to find that out in a world title fight. You want to find out these things in these fights right here. So this was actually perfect for him as he learns and develops. He's also young in boxing. I think that a lot of what fans be fucking thinking, expecting too much from him because of what he did in a couple fights. Then all of a sudden, the fans come out and they're expecting to see this fucking killer Terminator. And then he runs into this kind of opponent, and then people go, you know what? He sucks. He's not as good as I thought. Damn, man. And I'm sitting there like, I'm watching the fight. You guys saw me on the live. I'm like, yeah, baby. Yeah. Fight Hernandez, Flacco. Do your motherfucker. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, Hernandez, come on, man. Do you? And, I'm just breaking down the fight on both sides, tails of the tape, right? And I was digging it. I was digging it. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Because the rest of the guys that are hearing all these stories about Yo-Yo, right? And they hear it's going through the locker rooms. Well, my man, you were up next. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. So when you saw that, it kind of made him human. And if that's what you thought, and if that's what you felt, that it made him look kind of human, then I guess your expectations were really high for him at that level and that place in his career. Look how high you've already set the bar for a man that's actually right here in his career. You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they're gonna start talking him up like after this fight. Had he knocked that guy out, they would have said he was ready for a title fight, and he would have got a rude awakening in the title fight. He probably would have lost it because he wasn't ready for no title fight because he hadn't been through those kind of fights yet. You got to learn how to fight through that kind of fight right there. Face adversity. Be lost a little in the fight. Get a little tired. Hit the guy with your best shot, and he's still standing in front of you. Now you're in a fight. Let me see. Let me see your work. Show me what you got. See? So I actually liked the fight with Hernandez, but when I heard most people talk about him, they were crashing him and they're saying this and that, and I'm like, okay, because maybe your expectations of him was so high. Maybe you never really saw him. You only saw the destruction that he did. You didn't really question the guys he was doing it to. And you just assumed that he was going to do it to every man he gets in the ring with. That's not how boxing works. There's levels to this. And as you go up in level, the competition is going to get stronger, harder, faster, everything. You got to rise up with the competition, just like that. So, but I try to watch these fights. What's up, guys? What's up, Justin? Justin? TO1MD, TO1MD. Teal got it done. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I scrolled all the way up. Let me get down. Rolling this. Rolly felt sorry for Teal. You could tell he held back. Jim Bourne, no, man. There was no point in the fight that I ever felt that Rolly was holding back on Teo. Never. The evidence showed the opposite. I don't know what fight you fought, my brother. Watch my brother. I guess maybe if that's what you felt because you kept buying into this friendship shit. And I was trying to tell you guys, Rolly doesn't have that kind of emotion. I don't think he was born with that. He doesn't understand the concept of not giving you his best. Rolly. When Rolly clipped Teal, go back and watch that. Tell me that Rolly was feeling sorry for Teal. Tell me. Come back here, watch that, and then come back and tell me, yeah, he was feeling sorry for. No, he wasn't. Look at his face. He was trying to kill Teal. He couldn't get close to Teal. The reason why you saw those moments where, and I explained it in the beginning of the video, he didn't have anything else. You keep thinking like Rolly took it easy. No, by the sixth round, Rolly had threw every punch in his arsenal. He had nothing left. Everything he tried, Teo was there with him. Pop, 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 pop. Then Rolly caught him with that good shot, and Teo never got in that position again. And Rolly was waiting to try to bait him to get him in that position. Then when Rolly hit him with that one shot that he knew he could hit him, Rolly just kept diverting, trying to hit him with the one shot. He gave up a couple rounds in that sense because of the fact that he had to get out of his head. It happens to the best fighters, the best punchers in the world. You all of a sudden you know you can hit the guy, you forget how to box all of a sudden. You just completely and your coach gotta smack you. Yo, wake up! Shit. Okay, go back to boxing. Because you were making it apparent because you knew all I gotta do is touch you. It happens to fighters, man, all the fucking time. Once Brody hit him and that's all I got to do. All I got to do is just fuck. And he just kept following him with a loaded fucking shotgun. Brody stopped boxing. Then he saw he wasn't going to hit him. Then Brody started boxing again. He like snapped out of it. Boxing. That doesn't mean that Rolly was fucking, oh, no, Theo, you know what? Take my belt. Does it sound like Theo Rolly gave him his belt? He got out the ring, fucking cursing out the judges, didn't talk to nobody, and he's demanding a rematch. That sounds like a guy that wanted to take it easy on him. If he was going in there and he was fighting his friend, he doesn't want to do that ever again, and he wanted to give Teo the belt, and he took it easy on Teo. Once you lost, just go that way. Don't mention his name. Why would you want to go in the ring and take it easy on him on the second time? Because guess what? The first time he never took it easy on him. Not for 10 seconds in that fight did I ever think Rolly said, you know what? Damn, I'm fighting my friend. Nothing. I think you were fed this friend narrative. You think, oh, look at these guys. They're just having a glorifying sparring match. No. You heard fucking Rolly's coach and what Rolly said leading into the fight. Teo, if I beat you, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. You know that, right, Teo? And the coach said, you ain't going to the Hall of Fame like this, Rolly. Not fighting like this. You need to snap out of it. Rolly was falling in love with the punch. His coach was giving him good instructions. Rolly just wanted to land that punch again. He was too much in his head. His coach needed to smack him. Bro, wake the fuck up. But it really didn't matter because you knew it like I knew it. He was outgunned with Teo. Key factor in this fight, Rolly knew he wasn't going to outbox Teo. He needed to land that punch. Once he landed, brother, he just stood behind it, and it looked like Rolly. I mean, I don't know. That never crossed my mind, but I guess if you interpret it, him going like this, having those moments where he was like this, you know what I mean? If you interpreted that by him feeling sorry for Teo, I don't know how you could take that from that, but I never thought that. I just thought that Rolly was trying to figure it out. He was trying to edge his way back into the same place he was so he can hit that shot. And Teo didn't let him in that place. Teo understood The difference between Teo and Rolly, Teo understood what he did wrong. And he never hit Teo again like that the rest of the night. That's it. And Rolly was only banking on that shot. And we knew that going into the fight. All of a sudden, yo, why did Rolly stop boxing? Why did Rolly stop doing this? He could have did pressure. He could have walked through. He would have walked through Teo's power. Bullshit. Bullshit. Teo was tagging Rolly. And although it didn't, his face wasn't all busted up, that's still a hammer punching you in the face. No matter what, when Teo hits you, he is a professional boxer. He knows how to turn a punch. He's a 3-division world champion. You heard him yelling it, right? And he knows how to turn a punch. He might not have knockout power, like boom, knocks you out. But them punches hurt. And every single time Rolly came in there with that blistering fucking, he paid for it. And after a while, he had Rolly on the outside thinking, like, well, Rolly was like, man, I want to hit you, man, but you won't stay still. You keep tagging me. You know what I mean? And Teo is out there like this, like, come on, bro. And then when Rolly punched him in the eye and split his eye, that they exchanged words, Teo told him, you ain't hurt me. You ain't hurt me. And Rolly's trying to fucking kill him. And Teo took over the fight. There wasn't 10 seconds in that fight that I ever thought that Rolly tried to give the fight away. Felt sorry for Teo. Teo felt sorry for Rolly. No. I don't think Rolly's mind works like that, and I don't think Teo's mind works like that. I think if I would have fought one of my friends, maybe that would have affected me. Or if I fought like my brother, that would affect me, right? Couldn't do that, right? And if I was forced to, then I probably would let up in those kind of fights or something. If I was fighting like my little brother or something, right? So that's the only fucking way. But Teo and Rolly's relationship actually wasn't that much a relationship at all. If you look at the time frame when Teo went over his house and gave him the $5,000, shortly after that, Teo left, got married, had a kid. Rolly and him never hung out then. For those past 3 and 4 years, Teo and him never hung out. That was like way in the early. And then Teo went through all his little divorce thing and everything and went and fought Shakur and all this. And then somebody just brought up their friendship shit because at one point they were sparring against each other, but technically leading into the fight 4 or 5 years, they never even fucking talked to each other. They seen each other at fights and shit. You know, hey, what up, blah, blah, blah. But Teo was into the married life by then, and then now he was into the divorce life, and Rolly was always doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Teo couldn't fuck with Rolly because Rolly was out with the ladies, like, and Teo couldn't be, you know what I mean? He wasn't supposed to be. Maybe that's where his divorce came. I don't know, you know. That was just, but so they weren't friends like that. They were never those kind of friends where that I felt like Teo's Rolly said, man, this is the guy that gave me $5,000. Nah. It wasn't that kind of friendship at all. At all. You know? So Puerto Rican rum, what's up, brother? Edwin, to be fair, if Teo and Rolly aren't top level, I should have had to pay $80 pay-per-view. To be fair, if they're not top level. Okay. All right. Listen, top level in the sense they're big names in the sport. They're only so many stars in the sport. They are top level when it comes to marquee fighters that you can turn a profit over. Rolly sells tickets and Teo sells tickets. Not the greatest amount of tickets I've ever seen. They're not breaking no gates at the Barclays Center like Tank, but they are an attraction. So, and in that sense, they're an attraction in the sense that we have gravitated towards Rolly, a lot of us as fans, for his demeanor, his character, his personality, his power and shit like that. Definitely not because of his skill. Whatever attracted you to Rolly, you can honestly say that he is a player in the sport. When you pay these pay-per-view fights, I agree the dollar amount doesn't always match the skill level. You understand? Rather than star status. You still paid $80 at one point to see Jake Paul. And he ain't nowhere near Rolly and Teo. You're still paying pay-per-view top dollar for a guy that's not even an amateur. So it's just pick your poison as fans. As far as the pay-per-view, it is what it is. I don't set the prices. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and it should be pay-per-view worthy. And that's how it was back in the day. All the other fights were free. When we watched fights on HBO and we would go, it would only be like the real big main events, and there was always belts on the line for those ones. All the other fights were on Friday night fights and they were showcased and we could tune in. And we got some pretty decent free fights on TV. Then the networks lost their mind, went crazy, and they want to charge us for anything. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now, at least in the United States of America, and I'm just being fair. Naoya Inoue is one of he is probably my best fighter that I like the best right now. Naoya Inoue. And if he was to come to America and fight in America in Las Vegas against Roman Cardenas, unfortunately, that's not a pay-per-view fight. He's a big star in Japan. You could probably sell it over there. But I'm in agreement with this guy here that some of these fights are not pay-per-view fights. And even though they got stars, and listen, I think Naoya Inoue is the best fighter on the planet right now. But he's just not popular out here. He's going to get there one day. He's starting to trend that way. But back then, when he fought Roman Cardenas, I was actually at the fight. It looked like the fight was pretty much sold out. Like the top row wasn't filled, no. But all the front, like the world is starting to know who he is. But if I was just speaking honest, just because he is the fighter he is, he has the awards and the accolades to back it up, doesn't make him a pay per view fighter, unfortunately. It doesn't. And it saddens me to say that because Naoya Inoue should be a pay-per-view fighter. Matter of fact, he should be the top one. Just these little weight divisions, man, lower guys, man. They always got it. The smaller guy got to do double the amount just to get fucking recognized, bro. It's a tough weight division, bro. He's not in the glamour divisions. When you guys that are fighting in the glamour division like Teo and Rolly, they're fighting in one of America's top glamour divisions 147, 144, 135, 130. Those are the glamour divisions in all of boxing. That's where the best fighters in the world fight. So the fact that he's in there, they're fighting in those divisions, they're going to give it to you as a pay per view. I don't think it was pay per view worthy, but as star status, players in the game, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Not $80. Probably would have been a $35 one. Like a 35.95. Okay, I'll fuck with it. $80? Fuck out of here. Where's my fucking clicky clicky? Fire stick boys outside. You know what I'm saying? But I already got the zone package with you guys. Is sending super chats and shit. I like saved up and then I had some money for my jobs and shit. And I just took it and I fucking bit the bullet and paid the fucking $500 subscription shit. I paid it for the year. So I'm gonna get all the fights regardless, see how this works out for me, if it's good, if it's beneficial, you know. And I like the fact that I can at least go back and watch the entire card right now with no problem. Like if there was anything I missed, not like on the other places where you like buy the pay-per-view, you can only see it once. And then like if you want it again, pay for it again. Like get fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or in other platforms, they would show the fight and you had to wait 2 or 3 days for all the pay-per-view sales to tally up. They wouldn't show it to you. And then 3 days later, they would release it back on the platform. You paid for it. Then you can watch it. But on the zone, I mean, immediately after the fight, I went, and you can rewind it, the entire card. So, I mean, I like that feature about the Zone app. At least it does that. Like, I can, if I missed any fights, anything, and as long as it was on the Zone stream there, I can go back and watch it right now. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody don't got that kind of money to be fucking throwing it down on a streaming app. 500 on a stream, man. Listen, I didn't think I was gonna do it, but it's just that too many people, once all the boxing promoters, top guys, they all jumped ship and they all went to one streaming platform. That's where they got me. You know, because I fucking canceled the ESPN Plus. You know, it's my daughter had the Prime, what it was, it Paramount Plus, because she watches it downstairs. Man, I just connected that to my shit. Say, oh shit, we already paying for this? Let me put that upstairs. So, and then my wife pays for the Netflix. Let me get the Netflix, and I put it in right here. We're here. You know what I'm saying? It's already, we're in the same house. Like, so fucking yeah. So I'm not paying for no more. So if there's a fight and it's on some other shit, if I can't watch it, well, guess what? I can't watch it. But I'm only gonna pay for the zone shit, you know? It's this is getting too costly. It's getting stupid. I wish one of these guys like Zuffa, like the guys that claim that they're saving boxing, but they're really not. They're just disguising themselves as saving boxing. Because if you wanted to make real change, bring back Friday night fights. Zuffa, if you put fighting on every week, you will take over in a small amount of time. Do Zuffa fights every Friday, and Zuffa main events are the big fights. And then you could stream those like the Ryan fights and all that, and the Zuffa fights for the titles. You'll name that something else. But the key to it is to give the public every week fight so that we don't have no dead time like this, and make it free. Don't lose your mind and take the good idea and say, oh shit, Friday night fights, but let me charge you. You're going to lose the fans because you're getting too greedy. If you give them free fights and you start drawing in fans, then at the end of every 2 weeks, give them a pay per view fight, and not that much in pay per view, $35, something like that. Things that people can afford, like the common man can afford, with all these fucking bills that we're paying now. You know, all this added shit that they're taking money from us. They're gonna start charging us any day for breathing. I swear to God, for the air. Watch. And if you can work with the people and you got the customers coming in every Friday night, coming Zuffa's Friday night. Hey, I gotta get home. It's Friday night fights on Zuffa, bro. Yo, and we watching Zuffa week in, week out, and then all of a sudden, one of those Zuffa turkey cards pops up. Oh, big fight. Oh shit, big card. Then back to Friday night fights. Friday night fights. You got you'll have the majority, at least 60% of the viewing audience, all on you. You'll take back over boxing. What killed boxing was greed. Greed is what killed boxing. Not the fights, not the promoters, or none of the just greed. Everybody wanting more and more and more. And that's where, and then all of a sudden, Friday night fights got packed up. HBO got packed up because the fights weren't coming as much. There was too much dead time between these guys having a pissing contest about how much money they want the network, or he can't fight on his side of the street. You're fighting for this network, and we're fighting for this one. And that's how I believe boxing took a bad dive. Then Zuffa comes in, and I thought that they were going to be our savior. But apparently, it's every week that passes, you start to see them for what they are. You're just another promoting entity. You're just another boxing promoter with a lot of money that's putting fight. You're not doing anything we don't already have in the sport of boxing. What difference is Zuffa from boxing right now? Just one person. Tell me something. Give me something good. Anything. Help me understand. Type it in the chat. Somebody. What is different? Hey, you can't say Zuffa's paying the boxers more. They still pay boxers in regular boxing. I never argued the dollar amount. That's not different. Whether his dollar amount or yours is more or higher, you're still doing the same thing. Okay, that's not different. You're like showing me the exact same watch, but in two different colors, right? And you're saying it's different. No, it's not. That one's red and that one's blue. What are you doing that is different? What separates you from us? Nothing. Nothing you do. It is the exact same. You can dress it up in different packaging. You can try to say you have a better pay structure or you're keeping the fighters. That's just still making money off blood, sweat, and tears of the boxers. We have that in boxing. Come again? What are you doing different? Why are you the savior? If you're bringing me the same product, it's literally you took a Snicker bar, the wrapper off, and took a fucking Milky Way, put it in, and gave it to me, and asked me if I liked it. And I bit into it, and I said, "That's a Snickers." No, no, no. The package says Milky Way. No, you just took the Snickers fucking candy bar and put it in a package, bro. So you did. And I gotta be the dumb consumer to go, oh shit. Oh, this is better. Hey, Howard, did you feel that this is leather, Howard? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man. I got a little bit more sense than that. No, that's what you did. Now, if you do something different, you're fighting every Friday. Boxing's not doing that. Boxing don't got a schedule going like this. They feeding off Pro Boxing Box Lab to see if they got something. If they don't got a fight, he's picking it up. No, I'm talking about Zuffa locks down Friday nights, every Friday night. And you can set your watch to it type shit. Nope, Zuffa's gonna be on. I gotta get there. It's not if they're gonna have a card. If no, now you got them boys working. They fights. You got new guys coming up, new talent, everything. Giving us Zuffa fights. Then, like I said, every other 2 weeks or whatever, big main Zuffa card. Now that's different. See, because boxing, we don't know when we gonna get our next fight. When we feeding off other cards from different countries and we gotta tune in over here and over there. But if you have one place every Friday to watch fights, I guarantee you'd be over there watching them fights with me. I guarantee it. You gotta be different. You know, I know you're presenting the same product, which is at the end of the day, boxing, combat sports. I know you're not gonna go out there and put the fighters to fight in a trampoline around in a pool of a fire, to make it that different, because you got to work with what are the guidelines of boxing. But you can present it in a much different way and actually show that you're changing boxing. Actually show that you're different from them. You can't come into the sport doing the exact same thing. You just made everybody wear your fucking silly ass clothes. You gave them uniforms. You segregated, no crowds. You can't carry the belts to the ring. You did all that's what you did. You made it more like fucking military base run. That's all you did. And what you claim you're doing is keeping the fighters active. I haven't seen that yet. How many Zuffa fighters have you seen fight twice already? Avius A- Griffin, Avius Griffin, he didn't fight on Zuffa. Hmm. I thought of another fighter real quick when I was talking with Avi about Avius right here. I got another fight. I gotta check something out. I just remembered something about Zuffa. Um, I gotta check it out. I'll get back to you about this, but that'll be on a later show. So anyway, I was talking about Avius Great for fighting on Zuffa too as well and other fighters. And how many fighters have you seen fight twice already? Jayo Pataya, you know, he's about to I don't know if this is all facts though. I wanted to talk about Jayo Pataya's upcoming which I think is an upcoming fight, but I think some of this might be cloud chasing. So I'm just gonna be a bit more reserved on those comments. Because you guys know how I am about fucking wasting our time talking about these fights that is never gonna happen. I would not allow you guys to talk on my channel about Devin Haney and Boots. Now would I? Every time somebody brought that shit up, I was shutting that shit down. That's just cloud chasing people. Just recognize what they're doing. I'm not wasting my time breaking down a fight that was never gonna happen. Well, not never in the sense ever. No, never in the moment. I didn't think that phase was never gonna happen in the now, like in these next couple months. Possibility of Devin ever fighting Jerome Boots maybe 2-3 years down the line. Yeah, yeah, they'll probably meet up. Yes, eventually Devin might gonna have to fight Jerome Boots at some point. He's gonna fight Jerome, but like now, like when he was saying, like when the Keyshawn Davis fight broke up, his next opponent would have been Boots Ennis. Oh hell no! Oh hell no! No, no, there was no way you were gonna make me believe that was true. No, as soon as I fuck out of here, man. Right? Nah, that's close. So a lot of these things, situations, guys, I was sitting here like going through the list of Zuffa guys and who was, and I was like, oh shit, I did hear something about Jai Patai, but I'm not gonna say that. Oh shit. I was talking about Griffin and I thought of another fighter and I'm a bit more reserved too on that one. I'm not going to give them no airtime on fake news. I'm not going to do then they're going to turn around and attach it to me. Round one, didn't you say this? They always do that to me. Even when I like report the rumors of lately, even the rumors I be saying, hey, round one, you were wrong. Bro, I try to tell you it was a rumor. Now I'm just going to be quiet on that shit because like this shit gets out of control sometimes, but look, guys, I had a great time. I had a great time in the Amanda fight. I had a great time in the Teo fight. Um, yeah. What was the best fight you guys think you guys saw throughout the Amanda card and the Teo card? What was the best moment you think? Uh, uh, I think the best was that Amanda co-main event knockout by Howard. That knockout when he punched that dude that he turned around and he went to like walk away and then he came back and like floored him. That shit was exciting. Yo, he hit him, boom, and he stood him right up. And I guess he thought he was gonna go down. And he went to walk away and he looked and he was like, "Oh, you ain't down yet? boom, boom. I was like, oh shit, right? Watching Teo almost go down, that was pretty exciting, right? Like, what was like, I know that every fight didn't live up to expectations. I mean, the Russell fight actually was pretty decent, bro. That Russell fight, man, Gary Russell, man. Uh, I, Victor Santillan, that fight was good, man. You know, I thought that the Russell had enough time away, and I thought he was gonna come in and he was gonna look good this time. I didn't know how good or whatever, like that. But I did think he had enough to beat Victor Santillan. A lot of other people thought that Victor Santillan was gonna be too much for Gary Antoine Russell. Um, you know, when it's that American slick style, man, it's hard to bet against when it's orchestrated in the correct way. You know, Gary has some flaws, yes. Gary had some lapses in the fight where he wasn't making the right decisions in the fight, but overall, he I there was moments in the fight I actually thought he was going to start to unravel, and he kept it together. He kept it together. He wasn't looking for a way out. He wasn't clashing heads. Uh, and congratulations. I think he fought a that fight was a little bit better than I thought than it was gonna be. I was hoping for the best. I'm covering it, promoting boxing, of course. But um I wasn't too sure. I wasn't really 100 on Gary, but I took Rucko in the fight and he prevailed. So he actually did a little bit better than I thought. Gary. So that was good. And lo and behold, I was right. There was an interim belt on the line, the WPA interim. Somebody in the chat said, "No, there's no belt on the line." And you know how those UK guys, they're behind in time. Mr. Miyagi, them guys, they're a little bit behind. So you gotta let them catch up to the news. Shots fired, Mr. Miyagi. That's for Frontline. Frontline. I got Mr. Miyagi for you. You know what I'm saying? Yo. So listen, for the most part, guys, let's try to enjoy these fights. Yo, you guys were all over me yesterday. Hey, round one, this fight is shit. Bro, I know, man. I know what I was watching with you guys, but man, it's my job to try to keep you guys entertained if the fight can't, right? And let's interact and talk shit and this and that. I apologize. Frontline ain't up here reading the chat. Like he'd be up here reading the chat way more. You guys know my situation, right? I can barely see as it is. You could probably blind me right now with dental floss. I'm so motherfucker. A string of dental floss. It's yo, you know what I mean? But um, it's I do this for the love of the sport. I really do. As you can see, you know, uh, I'm passionate about what I do. I'm not always right, you know, but I stay with it. You know, uh, I could call one fight maybe wrong, or maybe have a wrong opinion on one thing on this one. That's okay. I didn't come up here to be perfect. I'm not the Jesus of Nazareth of boxing. I'm just round one, man. You know, and I I love to talk about the sport, and I love to hear what you have to say about the sport. I made this platform and this boxing channel so that we have a place for that where we can come, and you don't always have to argue and debate and everything. And I understand it's hard for some people to separate some channels from others. They don't understand this is not a debate channel. It can be at times, but this is just a straight up boxing channel. You're gonna come up here and we can talk about points, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna fucking bash you in the sense that just because you have an opinion, I try to prove wrong your opinion or say something like this. But if this is what you feel about your fighter, well then Here's your platform and your time. Tell the world what you think. Because I think that all our voices should be heard. There's no wrong. Hey, look, and I'm not trying to change your mind about these fighters. I'm just merely pointing out situation and boxing strategy that I think that I see. The conversation when we start talking about everything, it comes from you guys. You guys bring these things in and ask me this and that, and we get into these topics. But this is merely a boxing channel that we talk about some of the best boxers in the world and whatever's on your mind sometimes. And my channel is growing. It's young, it's new, and I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay. And I'm never scared to venture out on my own. I don't need to call someone out or need someone to do anything for me. I just never been like that in my life. If I want something, I'm going to go get it. If I want to stop doing something, I'll stop doing it. I've learned to let my yeses be my yeses and my no's my no's. I'm not this young dude I once was at one point in time. So if you like boxing, you like talking boxing, and you can deal with, a guy that doesn't pronounce every name right, but he means well. He talks well. And I like his vibe anyway. I fucks with round one. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in this Sunday recap. It's just a little something late night boxing I wanted to put together for us. I'm pretty sure you've been out all day, and had maybe time to come on and hear everybody's opinion. And I hope I gave you a difference of opinion. And maybe I brought you down a little bit further so that you can learn how to appreciate fights like myself. I once was lost. My expectations for these fighters was too high, and it was getting higher because of all the guys that I liked. And if you didn't match that, you were no good in my eyes. And somewhere down the road, I got lost. I had to come back to boxing, realize there's levels to this, and there's also levels on watching these fights. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in here at Round One Sports Talk. Can you do me a favor? Like the video, comment in the comment section. And like always, I'm on to the next one. After this one,
Another one.
here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best. Bobo, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.